Hello.
Hello.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the AstoundCast, episode 30.
5?
I think maybe.
Oh,
Give me a
one sec. I
second.
can double check that too, because I have to do like a little doodle on whatever thing I'm drawing on. It's
Yeah.
34. Never mind, 34.
Ah. Okay, give me one moment to set the title. So, nope, not 43, 34.
43. Yeah, of course.
Not that just yet.
Just yeah.
Okay, that's that done. Ooh. So, how's your week been?
Week's been alright. Just getting work done, ready for the new term that's coming up.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I got Pokemon.
Hey. How's
How's
that
your
so
week been?
far? Not bad, really.
Yeah.
Just a bit slow.
Slow's not always that bad.
True. Anyway, how's Pokemon going?
Pretty fun. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I have done, but it can get a bit repetitive, just catching stuff over and over.
Yeah,
I'm finding
that's
it
fair.
fun.
Good. But yeah, week's not been too bad, really. Got some new pajamas literally last night
Ooh.
because I've worn those older hay ones to death.
Well, they'll give them new life somehow.
That's true. um. Anyway, moving on really quickly, I've got a very interesting little sports section tonight because I actually have something to talk about for once.
Oh.
And something of substance. Well, as we know, on Friday, Haas really jumped the gun and revealed their new car.
Ooh.
And honestly,
What's up with it?
it's damn near identical to last year, livery-wise. The car itself looks a hell of a lot different, but the livery is... It's almost the same.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because like for the first day, like the immediate day after it was announced, I was quite hyped. But then it very quickly dawned on me, oh, wait a second, literally nothing's changed with the team. Oh, God. And to my complete lack of surprise, 11 o'clock came, yes, on Friday, and it was the exact same. With a few minor changes.
You know, for stylistic effect, just a couple of changes.
Yeah, and a distinct lack of Russian flag vibes this time.
Okay, so that's better.
Yeah, like the only Russian flags that are still on the car is the front wing now.
Not the worst.
No. But yeah, so a lot less Russian flag vibes now. As we know, the Russian flag is banned in all forms of sport at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nikita Mazepin's having to race as the nationality of the Russian Autosport Federation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That
he
does
can't
make
currently race as a Russian. However, this year, apparently, Thailand was in the same, very similar situation until this year, because it's been announced that Alex Albon, of course being half Thai, is going to be using the Thailand flag in F1 this year. So he'll be racing under the Thailand flag, which apparently has been able to be done for the last few years, because it looks as if they were caught in a similar situation to Russia.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so it looks as if that ban's been lifted this year, And Alex Albon's taking full advantage of that, so good on him.
Yay!
But of course, we also have the Red Bull car launch coming this week on Wednesday, I believe. So I'm pretty excited for that. Like, it's always good to see more cars. And then, of course, the bulk of them are coming towards the end of next week and the week after.
Not the worst case. It could be a lot slower.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks as if within the next 2 weeks, we'll have the remaining nine cars revealed, so thank God for that. However, Williams is still yet to announce their dates.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
Like, I don't know. I'm really curious as to why, but I honestly have no idea. So hopefully they fix that soon, or they're going to literally run out of time.
Yeah, let's hope that they get it within the time.
Yeah, like, it's just weird that even now, like 2 days after I made my last video about car launch dates, they still haven't done it. So, very weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, but also, another big thing tonight, of course, as I mentioned several times, is the return of NASCAR at long last.
Hey.
It almost seems like 3,000 years since it finished, yet it's only been like 2-3 months.
Better than
it is, of course,
waiting.
Yeah. But thank God it's back. It's returning tonight, of course, with the LA Busch Clash at the Coliseum, and it will not be a points-paying race. This is literally just a race for the sake of racing.
Not always a bad thing?
No, and honestly, I wish we could see more of that. Like, I don't want to have to see drivers stress about getting in the points. I just want to see them race, because they can race. Potentially an unpopular opinion, but yeah. It's like, we really don't see that enough. But yeah, so NASCAR's returning tonight with the Busch Clash at the LA Coliseum. Best of luck to all the drivers. Hopefully Chase Elliott can pull out a win, because I'm still rooting like crazy for that guy. But yeah, unless there's anything else that I can think of, and that would be a no, that's it for this week's motorsports section.
Nice.
But now, moving on to the Book of Boba Fett.
Woo!
Now, this episode was titled A Stranger Comes in the Desert, I think. And that does become accurate at the very end, but there's a hell of a lot to get through before we get to that point. Well, we start the episode off on Tatooine, as we mostly do, except for last week, which, oh my god, I still can't get over that. But this week, we see 4 Pike Syndicate members surrounding a speed bike with what appears, and is later confirmed, to be a box full of spice, aka space drugs. And a tub of Republic credits beside it. And then we see a man walk up to these Pike Syndicate members with his hand on his gun. And it is none other than Cobb Vanth, the Marshal of Mos Pelgo from Episode 9 of The Mandalorian. And he basically tells these Pike members to either get lost or get shot. And, well, they don't listen and they get shot. Well, 3 of them do. And then he keeps the last one alive to send a message to the Syndicate. Either you leave Mos Pelgo alone, or there's going to be big trouble. And then the last Pike Syndicate member runs away. At which point we get the Book of Boba Fett theme, and then we cut away to a new scene. And it's Mando again. Yep, we're back with the Mandalorian, just as we thought we got rid of him for this season, but nope. This time he's in his new Nubian N1 starfighter, heading towards a forest planet, not quite sure what it is, but we know that when we land, we see a very familiar droid. And it's none other than the legendary R2-D2. Because moments after that, we see that we're actually on Luke's Jedi Academy planet. Because as Mando is talking to R2 about, saying, where's Luke, where's Grogu, R2 takes him towards the construction site of the school because it's actually still being built. And then the droids building the school actually construct a little bench for Mando to sit down on while he waits. Yeah. They just put it together and he says, okay, thanks, and just sits down. And then all of a sudden... Huh?
With them just making a bench for him, just sit down. Like,
yeah. They knew he was going to be waiting a while, so they just put one together and said, just take it. And then, a few moments later, after sitting for a little while, we see another familiar face show up. And it is Ahsoka Tano. Which made me very happy because, oh my god, Luke and Ahsoka on the same planet. Oh no, that's going to make me cry. And it very nearly did. And then Ahsoka asks, well, Mando, what are you doing here? And he says, I've got a gift for the kid. And then they start walking towards where Luke and Grogu are. And then she asks him a few questions, such as, why are you really here? And is this gift for him, or is it just an excuse to see him? So basically, she has Mando completely verbally cornered. But then Mando asks a very important question. If you didn't want to train Grogu, why did you let Luke? And she said with a bit of a sigh, because she was probably expecting this question, but did not want to receive it, she said, I do not control the wants of others. Because Ahsoka could see the same darkness that she sensed in Anakin. However, Luke didn't know Anakin from the Clone Wars. He only knew Anakin as a withered old man inside of the suit. So he has a bit more optimism for training Grogu. And then she just explains that to Mando, just saying, like, I can't control what he wants. If he wants to train Grogu, that's on him. And then after that, Ahsoka says, I'll take the gift to Grogu as to not distract him from his training by seeing you. And after a few moments of brief thought, Mando very reluctantly agrees. Because on the one hand, he wants to see Grogu, but on the other, he knows that what is happening to him right now is probably for the best, and he doesn't want to get in the way of that.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, and then we see Mando go back to his starship, fly away, and then we get our first look at Luke and Grogu. And CGI for Luke has been massively upgraded.
Ooh.
Like, while he looked phenomenal in Mandalorian Season 2's finale, he looks absolutely perfect here. And he sounds even better because a certain Mark Hamill was brought back to voice him.
Wow.
So, couldn't really ask for anyone better voice actor-wise. So yeah, we see them do some training, and then Grogu kind of puts his arm out to like try and force pull Mando back as he's flying away, but doesn't quite have the strength to pull it off from such a distance. Yeah. And then Mando just clears off, and then we get a bit of an episode about Luke and Grogu training. So This is like one of the most Star Wars-y episodes I've ever seen. Like, there's just so much happening. There is so many callbacks to The Empire Strikes Back with the Luke and Yoda training scene. In fact, at one point, Luke even straight up references Yoda. A couple of times, actually.
Okay.
Because after Mando disappears, Luke tries to help Grogu access some of his memories, which have been he's kind of compartmentalized them. And we find out why once Luke succeeds. Because the only memory we see is of Order 66 in the Jedi Temple. So we're seeing Grogu watching Jedi get gunned down by the 501st, which, again, considering the direction the Bad Batch is going in with a clone redemption very much on the rise, it breaks my heart to see that again. Like, it kind of says, okay, the Bad Batch is trying to redeem the clones. This is what they're redeeming them from.
Okay.
And it's a very tough scene to watch. And we have a bit of a cameo as well, kind of. Because, well, in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, there was a Jedi in the temple called Sin Dralig. He was the duel master of the temple, and he was actually played by the sword master of the film. Like, he was teaching Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor how to use the lightsabers.
Wow.
And they actually got him to play a Jedi. And in this scene of Order 66 happening, Sin Dralig is the Jedi in the middle, and we know it's him because of the long blonde hair with it tied back and the green lightsaber. And unfortunately, we see Sin Dralig get gunned down by a 501st trooper.
Then not so good.
Yeah, and then we see some troopers head towards Grogu, but there is a theory going around that they're actually moving past him, because there's another theory, while a bit convoluted, that he's actually hiding inside R2-D2 at the time of Order 66.
Oh.
Because we know R2-D2's there, because he was there with Darth Vader. I can't exactly call him Anakin right now, but he was there with Darth Vader, and there's a theory going around that R2-D2 hid Grogu inside of him, and the 501st troopers, in theory, have gone past him, but it was framed as though the troopers were coming towards him. And then poor old Grogu wakes up in a completely different location, so it seems as if that memory and the trauma surrounding it put him in a mini coma for a while.
Oh.
Yeah, like, he wakes up in a completely different location with Luke.
Granted, that's quite shady.
Yeah, like, granted, we don't know how far away this location is from the location he went into this memory trance, but we can obviously see it's completely different to where it was before. Then after Grogu wakes up, Luke tries to teach him the Force jump capability, which we've seen a gajillion times throughout the saga, mainly in the prequels. And we see Grogu do a very, very, very little jump at first. And Luke just says, you're just trying too hard. Let the Force guide you. And then all of a sudden, he brings out the training droid that, well, I assume it's the same one that was on the Millennium Falcon in A New Hope. And then activates it, and then poor Grogu, he gets shot.
Poor guy.
He gets blasted by this training droid, at which point everyone in the Star Wars fandom wanted to shoot this training droid. And then eventually he started to gain some Force-based reflexes and started hopping around like Yoda in the prequels. It was amazing to watch. And then Luke said an interesting line. It's not so much that I'm teaching him, it's just that he's remembering what he used to be able to do. Because bear in mind, Grogu's like 50 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Because Yoda species is literally the only name we have for them. Yoda, he died when he was 900 years old.
Wow.
So, like, Grogu, while he's still a baby physically, he's like 50 years old. So he had some training during the time of the prequels. So he has been training under Jedi Masters before, but not for a very long time. And of course, with the trauma of Order 66, he's kind of compartmentalized that entire period of his life. So he's just remembering all the skills that he used to possess during that time period. And then Luke and Ahsoka have the inevitable mini chat about Luke's dad. And that was the point where I very nearly cried like a baby.
Aww.
Because I could see it coming. Like, Anakin's closest friend during the Clone Wars, Ahsoka, finally speaking to Anakin's son, who never really knew Anakin. He just knew Vader and only really met Anakin in his dying moments. Whereas Ahsoka knew Anakin since he was from the ages of 19 to 22. So that was just really heartbreaking to see. But then once that happens, we have a few more references to Yoda, such as, well, Luke's taking Grogu through the forest after his jumping scene, and then and as Grogu's walking speed's so slow, he kind of pushes him along with the Force every now and again, which is just hilarious to see. And then he gives a couple of references to Yoda because he said, "You are strong but small," and as one of my old friends said, size matters not. And he obviously references Yoda because, well, that's who said that. And then we basically cut away from that whole section of the episode back to Mos Pelgo. Yeah. Because it looks as if once Mando left this planet that Luke and Grogu and Ahsoka are on, he's gone back to Tatooine to obviously get ready to help Boba Fett. And he does. Well, no, he heads back to Boba Fett's palace first to have a bit of a meeting with Boba, the mods, Black Chrysanthemum, and the mayor's assistant, who, of course, has gone AWOL since episode 4. Then Boba says, "We've got a good army here, but we do need more help." At which point Mando pipes up, "I know where we can get that help." And then he goes to Mos Pelgo because, of course, he helped them in episode 9 of The Mandalorian with the Crate Dragon. And then he basically goes to Cobb Vanth and says, "Cobb, need your help. Big problem." And then Cobb says, "Well, Mos Pelgo, well, as it's now called, Freetown, is good right now." And Boba says, "Yes, but once the Pikes take a hold of this planet, that will not be the case for very long." And then, after a little while of talking, Mando can't really convince them to join him. So then he says, "Thanks anyway, heads off." But then, just as Mando flies away, the moisture evaporators that were seen at the beginning of the episode, where the Pikes were on their speeder bike, were really starting to pick up. And there was wind chimes chiming in the wind, as they do. And then we see a stranger in the desert, which is the title of the episode. And I recognized this stranger immediately, even though you could barely see him. Like, I didn't even have to squint because I knew who it was. And when he got closer, you realized that this was indeed the legendary Cad Bane from the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch.
Wow.
And I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing because, oh my god, Cad Bane's still alive? Because it's been figured out now. By the time of this episode, Cad Bane is 71. Now, he's a member of the Duros species, and they only live into their early 70s, so Cad doesn't exactly have long left. He's running on fumes, basically. And then it would appear that he sided with the Pikes. Surprise, surprise. And basically says to Cobb Vanth, whatever Boba's paying you to help him, which actually hasn't been done yet, will pay you double if you just stay out of the way. And Cobb says, "Yeah, I'd like to know who you are first." and then Cad kind of dodges the question like a bullet. And then he says a few more things like, I'd watch where I'm putting my nose if I were you, which is kind of ironic because Cad's species don't have noses. So, yeah, bit of an ironic quote there. That's been very much memed in the last few days. The Star Wars fandom's quick with memes, like really quick. And then there's a bit of a Mexican standoff because Cobb has his hand on his gun, Cad Bane has his hand on his gun, and Cobb's very, very jittery brand new deputy marshal of Freetown also has his hand on his gun. Unfortunately, Cobb, not quite trusting his new deputy just yet, looks away for a split second, and that's when Cad Bane draws his blaster. Now, Cad shoots Cobb Vanth in the shoulder, so not a fatal injury. So I have a strange feeling that Cobb has survived and will now definitely go to help Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. However, Cad Bane well and truly smoked his deputy. He shot him like 5 or 6 times.
Not so good.
So he is dead. But Cobb,
maybe.
I'd say he has a pretty good chance because I've got a strange feeling he'll be there in the next episode to help Boba in the war with the Pikes, which will actually be the last episode. I still can't believe that, you know.
Damn. That's been quite
This
quick,
has all
actually.
happened so quick. Yeah, it has. So, and then there's, of course, the few weeks break until Moon Knight starts. But yeah, as for next week's episode, it's going to be crazy. Because as far as I'm aware, Book of Boba Fett only has 1 season, so this next episode could be the last episode. So next week is going to be a little bit nuts. I'm predicting that, of course, the citizens of Freetown will head towards Boba's palace to say, hey, we want to help. And then there'll be a massive war with the Pikes throughout that episode. Honestly, I'm not quite prepared for what we're going to see. Do I think we'll see Luke and Ahsoka show up? Absolutely not.
You don't?
I think no. I think, well, Ahsoka potentially, because she's not training anyone. Like, Grogu is the only student of this new Jedi Academy. Oh, there is one last scene. Oh my god, how did I forget this? There is one last scene where Luke does give Grogu the option of taking Mando's Beskar armor that he gave him as a gift, or taking Yoda's lightsaber. And at the end, we're basically just seeing Grogu looking at both of them, seeing which he wants to go with, and that's where the episode ends. I forgot about that somehow. But yeah.
You forget, that seems important.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, so Ahsoka is potentially going to be there because she isn't training anyone, as I said a moment ago. Grogu is the only student there, and Luke is training Grogu. So Ahsoka is possible. If Luke is there, I will be massively surprised. Although there is one way they could work that in. Grogu could choose the Beskar armor, and then Luke will say, "Okay, I'll take you back to Mando." And then he takes him back, and then Boba says, "Luke, I know we've had some interesting interactions in the past, such as me carbonite freezing your best friend and taking him to Jabba the Hutt, but I could really use your help in defeating the Pike Syndicate." And then Ahsoka, having prior knowledge and prior experience of the Pike Syndicate, might convince Luke to help because she knows what damage they can do as a result of the Clone Wars. So I think if Luke is to show up, that is one way they could pull it off. Like, him deliver Grogu back to Mando, and while he's there, help Boba and Mando out defeat the Pike Syndicate. So that is something they could do.
Well, always an option, yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, I think if we're going to see either of those two, I'm going to say, while still pretty unlikely, Ahsoka's the more likely out of the two, but both is possible if they take that route. But as of now, I think the crew that Boba has around him is everyone that he's got. But again, Luke and Ahsoka could potentially round out the group. Don't quite know yet. But next week is going to... Yeah, but next week is just... It's going to be action-packed. That's all I can really, truly say. So yeah, that is my overview of episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, and my kind of predictions for next week's episode. And that'll be the second to last time I do this on one of these streams, which is also pretty nuts.
Kind of sad, though.
Yeah. But hey, I think going back to the old way is gonna be a bit better, I think.
Yeah.
And I've basically got the recording schedule for that figured out now.
Oh.
Or rather, the release schedule. Like, the release schedule for these videos is going to be what they used to be. Wednesday and Thursday. Well, no, the recording schedules will be Wednesday and the... Wait. Hold on. No, I need to rework. Give me a second. I have got this figured out. I just need to figure out how to say it. God damn it.
Oh, no, dear.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'll be recording them on Wednesday and Friday, but they'll be coming out on Thursday and Saturday as they used to. But I'm doing them in reverse order. So, as the predictions used to come out on a Thursday, it will instead be the overviews, and the predictions will be out on the Saturday. As, of course, the release dates for these shows are now Wednesdays, so that's how I'm going to do it instead.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, so I'll be recording them on Wednesday and Friday, but that will make any difference to you guys, because, of course, you won't see it till the day after. So, yeah, that's how that's going to work. Yes, finally got it. Whew!
Finally.
So yeah, that's it for the Disney Plus section of this stream. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not much really to mention on my end. Again, it's just Pokemon that I'm currently filled with.
Yeah, honestly, same here, to be honest. Yeah, I really can't think of anything else. Oh, God. Also, I should probably mention, of course, in a few weeks' time, these streams will start to get a bit longer and easier to do again, because, of course, with NASCAR returning tonight, over the next few weeks and into next month, the other motorsports will start returning, namely IndyCar and F1, with F1 on the 20th of March, and IndyCar... I don't know, actually. It just occurs to me, I have no idea when IndyCar comes back.
Oh dear.
Let me do a quick Google. Let me do a quick googly Google. Oh wow, that is... wait, is that right? Okay, the first... Whoa, that's quite some time away. The first test was on the 19th of January, and the first race is on the 30th of July.
Right,
The hell?
That doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't. You're right, but... Okay, let's see if I can... Okay, no, that seems a lot better. Yeah, that's significantly better. The first race is actually on the 27th of February.
Yeah, that seems a lot more reasonable.
Yeah, on the streets of St. Petersburg circuit. So that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, that's a lot better than the 30th of July.
Don't worry us there. Don't worry us there, Cameron.
Yeah, I was a bit scared too. I thought, oh my god. But yeah, so they'll be returning on the 27th of February and the 20th of March, respectively. So is there anything else you want to talk about at all?
Nothing off the top of my head.
That would make the two of us.
We haven't been thinking too much this week.
No, there's not been much going on really.
True.
So, do you want to maybe wrap this up?
Yeah, sure.
Rightio, guys. So that's going to do it for this episode of the AstoundCast, episode 34. So, don't forget to follow me here on Stereo if you're watching here now, or if you're watching again on YouTube on Monday. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button will be just below the title of the video in red, unless you've already subbed, then it's grey. Thanks for that, by the way. Once you know that too, don't forget as well to follow Roxanne here on Stereo at Roxo, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Mianet. That'll be in the description of the video. Don't forget as well to follow me on my social medias. They'll be in my link tree in the description of the video, and Roxanne in a blog. That will also be in the description of the YouTube video. And that'll do it for this stream, unless...
Ursa Ring evolves at level 30. You don't actually need an item to evolve her or anything, unlike Yamask. Not unlike Yamask. Unlike other Pokemon, but Yamask is also a very odd Pokemon because it has two evolutions. One of them is like a normal way, it's just leveling up, and the other one you have to do at minimum 46 points of damage, and then you have to stand under a specific arch in order for it to evolve. It's very weird. That's the fact I've got for you.
Okay, bit of a Pokemon fact for all of you. So, and with that, I shall say I'll see you all next week with another stream, and tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.
Bye.